WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The National Transportation Safety Board releases its preliminary report in the fatal plane crash that killed 18-year-old Lake Little. According to the report, a witness heard no unusual sounds from the engine. The Cessna 172 crashed on the Ole Miss golf course. A fixed base operator at University Oxford Airport told investigators that Little sounded panicked and didn't finish her sentences as she intended to land on a runway. A witness saw the plane approach as a tailwind blew. The plane climbed at a steep angle before it went down. Little got her student pilot certificate in August of 2017. Alabama state troopers are investigating the death of a Starkville man after a head-on collision. 23-year-old Toby Minotti died in the Highway 45 crash near Citronelle. The Alabama law enforcement agency tells WCBI Minotti's Ford Fusion and a log truck hit head-on. The log truck went up in flames. WKRG reports the driver of the big rig, Gene Washington, also died in the accident. An Indiana woman is killed in a one-car crash in Calhoun County this morning. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says Sonia Miller's 2019 Nissan Versa ran off of Highway 9 and hit a tree. Miller died at the scene. State troopers are investigating. Alabama drivers will pay 6 cents more at the gas pump after a gas tax hike. Our Riley Livingston takes a look at how Vernon is trying to soften that blow. She joins us in the studio with more.
Joey, it's the words most people dread, tax increase. And when the mayor of Vernon heard them, he set out to do something about it. In March, Alabama lawmakers passed a bill to raise the state's gas tax. And even though the governor signed it into law, not everyone approves. That includes Vernon Mayor Glenn Crawford. To help residents, he's looking to do something different with the city's gas tax.
So we're looking at either a 25 or a 50% reduction in what we currently charge. At the city where we're at today financially, we don't feel like, we always like money, but we really don't have to have that additional money coming in for us to continue to operate. So what we're doing is we're going to turn around and give it back to the citizens. And the way we're going to do it is decreasing our current gasoline tax, which is what the city of Vernon has in place.
He also sees room for cuts in other areas.
We have a lodging tax, we have an amusement tax, and we have a vending tax. And we're looking at those three, a reduction of those two. So all of this lumped together, we think will more than equal the percentage that we're paying, or a good percentage of that 6 cents tax in Vernon that comes from the state will be offset by what we're giving back.
He admits they may lose money in the beginning, but there could be a payoff down the road.
We think with our dedication and our giving back to the people that we will get more people to buy into our Shop Local program, which will generate more sales tax, which will help offset some of this that we're giving back. But that's money that is being regenerated through our city.
Residents also hope the cuts will help the city.
A good thing. I think the mayor's trying to help Vernon grow, and I think the council is working with him to do that. So I like that.
All these little small stores that, come in, but they can't stay because most people don't shop Lamar County. If they're going to cut taxes, shop Lamar County.
The plan will be voted on August 5th. If the tax cut is approved, it could go into effect as early as November.
The federal disaster declaration process in Columbus continues to roll along. FEMA is inspecting 8 sites at city-owned parks and buildings, including the Terry Brown Amphitheater. City officials are showing FEMA what was at the site before the February 23rd tornado and flooding, and what needs to be repaired now. The city can be reimbursed up to 75% of the cost of FEMA-approved claims.
Very intensive process of them reviewing, because they're not from here and they don't know what was here beforehand, and so we get to kind of walk them through everything. So we got to make sure that they agree with what we're seeing damages are and the costs are, and then of course then we can move forward with the replacement.
FEMA must approve of the damages and cost estimates before the repairs can begin. Time now to turn things over to First alert, excuse me. Time to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for a first look, that is, at our forecast. Keith?
Well, Joey, right now it is plenty hot across North Mississippi and West Alabama. Temperatures around 90. The heat index still into the triple digits in many spots around here. So it's a steam bath out there. If you've been out there, you know it. We have some high clouds out there. No rain falling right now. That is pushed off to our east and northeast. There's a big complex of rain near St. Louis, but it looks like that is going to stay just to our northeast as we go throughout the course of the evening and the overnight hours. So at this point, we're looking like a pretty warm and dry evening out there, just steamy, hot, and humid all night long with lows in the 70s. Your full forecast, Joey, in just a few minutes.
There is a new man at the helm of the Okolona School District, and as Allie Martin reports, he has big plans for parents, students, and teachers.
As Okolona's new superintendent, Chad Spence is making the rounds every day, and the new school year hasn't even begun. Spence likes to visit with faculty and staff to make sure everything is ready before teachers and students are back in class.
We're just about to fill out our openings or vacancies. Right now, I'm trying to make sure the buildings are ready for school in regards to being clean.
For Spence, taking on the role of superintendent in Okolona is a homecoming of sorts. The Corinth native has worked in Houston and Pontotoc schools. He has spent time recently talking with community members about their concerns and aspirations for the district.
Making sure the schools excel from an achievement standpoint. Our goal is to eventually be a B or A district within a year or so, and that can happen. A lot of work to do for that to happen, but I feel that we're moving in the right direction for those things to be achieved.
Student and teacher safety is a top priority. At the elementary school, cameras will be installed so office staff can see visitors as they approach the main entrance.
I'm looking forward to an exciting year, and it is our goal to do everything better.
Lelia Triplett is the new principal at Okolona Elementary School. She believes the district is poised for big things under Superintendent Spence's leadership.
He has a compassion for children. He has a compassion for this community, and putting those two things together, I know that the sky's the limit, and we shall be an A district.
The new school year for students starts August 7th. In Okolona, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Spence is also working on a positive branding strategy for Okolona schools. In other news, a next-generation workforce training center opens its doors this fall. East Mississippi Community College's Communiversity will welcome its first class. Students will receive hands-on experience with machinery used by area industries. School leaders say the goal is to have graduates job-ready.
They'll be doing everything from learning what hand tools are, how to use hand tools, wiring, industrial motor controls, fluid power, machining, robotics, mechatronics like the machine you see behind me, and just a wide variety of different subjects and skills that they'll be learning.
The training spaces within it are a draw that we have never had as a career technical program before, and the opportunities for students to train and get jobs in this area that are well-paying jobs is tremendous.
We will have more on the Communiversity and its impact on the area tonight on WCBI News at 9 and 10. Emergency responders answer a different call in Tupelo. We take a look at how they're competing for a cause next on WCBI News at 6. Welcome back, everyone. Tupelo first responders turn a blood drive into a friendly competition. Police and firefighters are seeing which department can give the most blood. It's called Heroes Behind the Badge, and it helps blood banks make sure they have the supply to meet summer's high demand.
This blood isn't for the police or fire. This blood's for the community, and we're always working accidents and there's injuries and things like that. So again, this is our way of giving back to the community, and we need the community support because the blood banks are you know, they could always use more blood. They never have enough. So again, you know, come out and support your community and the police department and the fire department.
Everyone is invited to donate. Just stop by the Tupelo Police Department on Thursday between 11 and 1.
Pretty nice evening developing. That's our live view in Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, and in Louisville. Get out there, make the most of it. If you can deal with the humidity, it's soupy out there. The details on your Sunday are next. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Live view, or this was earlier today, not a live view, earlier today in Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy. You can see building clouds out there. A few isolated showers and storms as we've gone throughout the course of the afternoon. Brief downpours, but some pretty good downpours. And now this is a live view in Louisville, Mississippi, 617 here on our Wednesday afternoon. We're looking great going into the evening hours. No real rain or storm activity in our neck of the woods right now. That's certainly good news. Upper 80s to around 90, so it is warm, it is humid, and we still have the heat index into the triple digits in many spots. Now, for tomorrow across the northern areas, we have a heat advisory, but let's just say all locations will have a chance for a heat index that may be over 105 degrees. So we may see some more advisories issued. So that's what we are expecting for Thursday. Same story in the Friday too. Can't rule out a stray shower storm around here to briefly cool things down, but in general, more heat than anything else. Not just here, but everywhere. It seems like east of the Rockies for Thursday, for Friday. Notice these values up here in Kansas City, Chicago, parts of Michigan into the 110 range or higher. Same story in New York City, Washington, Philadelphia. So it is going to be warm into the start of the weekend. So stay cool, hydrated, stay out of the sun, limit your exposure to that sun. Obviously wear sunscreen too, with the heat index being so high. Scattered storms and showers possible this weekend, a little bit higher chance again once we get into your Saturday and Sunday. For tonight, down into the low and mid 70s, light wind, muggy conditions. You'll need a fan or an air conditioner. If you got it, use it because you'll need it. For our Thursday, we're back into the low 90s in many spots here. Winds from the southwest 5 to 10. So not really a lot of natural relief from the heat, but we can't rule out a stray shower or storm. And we'll show you that with Futurecast tomorrow afternoon. We may bubble up one or two of those. So the rain chance is about 20% for tomorrow and also for you Friday too. So stay cool. That's my advice. That's all you can do at this point. It's summertime. We've had our rain. We've had our cooler days. And now we're back into this summer-like July heat. Thursday, Friday into the weekend. A little bit cooler this weekend into next week because rain chances going up. And there could actually be a cold front Monday and Tuesday, Joey. If that moves on through, lower humidity and cooler temps by Wednesday.
I know we'll look forward to that. All right, more Alabama Week action is coming up as we check in on the Sulligent Blue Devils. Next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
One question still remains up in the air leading up to Mississippi State's football season. Who can we expect to fill Nick Fitzgerald's position at starting QB? Head coach Joe Moorhead saying at SEC Media Days it could be anyone's spot.
When we get into camp, we'll start doing X's and O's and start letting the guys compete and let the chips fall where they may. Everyone is involved in the competition just like every other position, but conventional wisdom dictates that the guy who's in his fifth year and the guy who's in his third year who have played in some games are going to be the primary contenders. And we'll put a good plan together. They'll get a good amount of reps with the ones and with the twos, and we'll see where it goes from there.
I feel like we're more athletic, and I just feel like last year we were great, but I feel like we got a chance to do the same thing as we did last year.
It's a new season for Alabama football, but the expectations are the same, winning a national championship. After last year in the national title game, head coach Nick Saban saying his team learned some valuable lessons.
Implement those as lessons for our players in the future so that they have a better chance to be successful, and that's always the challenge. It's a new season. How are we going to respond? What kind of leadership we're going to have? How are we going to reinforce those things that we're talking about to make it impactful for how we improve this year?
Winning isn't something that you should take for granted, and just how we go about doing things now, and where we're going with this, is is how we take ownership over our team as far as the leaders on the team.
Stop number 24 on the high school football tour checks in with the Sulligent Blue Devils. The Blue Devils have been hard at work to replace the leadership they lost last season.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
The Sulligent Blue Devils are ready for redemption. It was only 2 seasons ago that the Blue Devils fell just short of a state title. After losing an experienced bunch and being plagued by the injury bug, Sulligent found it hard to meet expectation. With a whole new group of seniors, the Blue Devils are ready once again to get back to work.
It's been surprisingly, better, different than I thought it was going to be, and they've really worked hard, starting, when we got done in November until now, so I've been pleased with their attitudes.
We take a lot more responsibility as a team, and we're a lot better at taking responsibility for each other and for the team as a whole. And I think we'll go a lot farther than we did last year.
We have a lot more experience this year than we did last year. Last year, it was all kind of new. We all just moved up. So this year we know what it tastes like to win, and we don't want the bitter taste of losing in our mouth.
The restoration process for Sulligent is in full effect. 7 starters return on each side of the ball for the Blue Devils. The team says that the biggest factor that will separate this year's team from last is a presence of new leadership.
Well, if you get everybody ready for the game, all hyped up, then they're going to play well. If you make them think they're good enough to win that game, they're going to play good enough to win that game.
Everybody gets along, we're all communicating, we're always on each other's back and helping each other out, picking each other up.
They've done a good job this spring. We had a good spring. Leadership was really good this spring, and we had a good showing in our spring game.
The Blue Devils have been holding their heads up high with help from Merchant's continuous motivation.
We just try to get better each day. We focus on Sulligent. We don't focus on our opponent. We just focus on ourselves and try to get better each and every day. And of course, we watch film and try to see what mistakes we made, and we just get better from there.
He just always stays on our back and always lets us know we're not going to have a season like that again.
Waking us up at 6 a.m. come here, work out for about 2 hours, getting us ready for the season, getting us strong.
Sulligent has been going hard at summer workouts, all in hopes of setting a tone on that very first Friday night.
Setting our point, showing we can do, be more capable of what we can do than last year, showing that we put our minds so we can do it as a team.
We had a bad year last year, but that's in the past, and they don't know what's going to hit them this year.
A new season begins for Sulligent when they have their first matchup against Barry Fayette on August 23rd. Reporting with Sulligent on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Sulligent High School was brought to you by Shop and Save, Vernon Dental Clinic, and Alpha Agent Alicia Clark.
More after the break.
Hey, update to a story we brought you earlier. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency told WCBI that the young man killed in the Citronelle, Alabama accident was Toby Minotti. Family members tell us his name is TJ Minotti. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a last look at our forecast.
All right, Joey, it's going to be warm and steamy for the next couple of days here. The heat index could be over 105 degrees. At times we had some of those readings out there today, so imagine what we had today, maybe a few more degrees on that. It's just going to be a steam bath like it is out there right now. Limited rain chances until the weekend and early next week.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Definitely going to be hot out there.
Gotta stay cool.
Indeed. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.